Today, Mercedes-Benz is a symbol of wealth, power, and prestige. But once, it was a car no one wanted to buy. And this brand came very close to disappearing. This is the story of the world's most powerful automobile empire, and how it rose from zero to the top. Part 1. First of all, the year is 1886. There are no cars, no proper roads, and people believe that a life without engines will last forever. But there was one man, Karl Benz. Karl Benz invented the first gasoline-powered automobile in history. Its name, the Benz patent motor wagon. But no one cared. But Karl Benz didn't give up. From a young age, he was captivated by machines, engines, and the way things worked. He studied engineering at the Polytechnical School in Karlsruhe, learning not just theory, but how to apply it to real-world inventions. After graduation, he faced countless obstacles. Funding was limited, critics were everywhere, and most people simply didn't believe a horseless carriage could ever work. Every day brought new challenges, broken engines, mechanical failures, and the skepticism of those around him. But Karl persisted. He spent long hours in his workshop, testing engines, experimenting with gears, and learning from each setback. Each failure was a step forward, each problem an opportunity to improve. In 1885, after years of tireless experimentation, he finally completed his invention, the Benz patent motor wagon, the world's first gasoline-powered automobile. At first, the world ignored it. People laughed at the idea. They called it impractical, unnecessary, impossible. Driven by curiosity, skill, and relentless determination, he polished every detail, improved every part, and prepared for the day that the world would finally see the future. Slowly, people began to notice the dream of a machine that could move without horses was now real. And just like that, a new era in transportation was born, an invention that would forever change the way humans move, live, and think about the world around them. Part 2. The car no one wanted. People thought this vehicle was dangerous, loud, slow, and frightening. Karl Benz ran out of money. His company was on the verge of bankruptcy. And at that very moment, the person who changed everything appeared. His wife, Bertha Benz. Without telling anyone, Bertha took the car and made the first long-distance drive in history. That journey was the birth announcement of Mercedes-Benz. After Bertha Benz took that daring journey, the world began to realize that Karl Benz's invention was not just a curiosity, it was the future. She drove over 66 kilometers without telling anyone, navigating rough roads, steep hills, and unpredictable weather, proving that a horseless carriage could actually work in the real world. Along the way, she refueled the car, using whatever she could find, fixed mechanical issues with her own hands, and faced every challenge with courage and determination. News of her journey spread quickly, and suddenly people began to see the possibilities of this new technology. What once seemed impossible, impractical, and even dangerous was now tangible, exciting, and revolutionary. Karl Benz, inspired by this demonstration, refined his design even further. He improved the engine, strengthened the chassis, and made adjustments that would make the motor wagon more reliable,
Practical.
and ready for public use. This bold journey didn't just save his company, it changed the course of history. It marked the birth of a new era in transportation, on where machines would move humanity forward, faster and farther than ever before. And from that moment, the dream of the automobile began to spread across the globe. Inventors, engineers, and visionaries saw what was possible. And the foundation for Mercedes-Benz, the first true automotive company, was firmly established. Every revolution begins with courage, and Bertha's fearless drive showed the world that innovation demands boldness, persistence, and belief in the impossible. The road was just beginning, but the world would never look at transportation the same way again. Part 3. How the name Mercedes was born. Years later, another man entered the scene. His name, Gottlieb Daimler. One of Daimler's customers named the car after his daughter, Mercedes. And in 1926, the two rivals merged. Benz plus Daimler ihre Mercedes-Benz. And with that merger in 1926, a new legend was born, Mercedes-Benz. This was more than just a business deal. It was the union of two pioneering spirits, two visions of the future, and a commitment to excellence that would define the automobile industry for generations. Mercedes-Benz didn't just inherit engines and designs, it inherited a legacy of innovation, determination, and courage. From Karl Benz's first patent motor wagon to Daimler's precision engineering, every breakthrough, every experiment, and every risk taken was now part of a shared story. The world was changing rapidly. Cars were no longer a novelty. They were becoming an essential part of modern life. Designers focused on aesthetics, creating cars that were not just functional, but beautiful, inspiring, and admiration wherever they went. Through economic hardships, wars, and technological revolutions, Mercedes-Benz endured. The brand became synonymous with quality, luxury, and performance, a symbol of human ingenuity and ambition. And every vehicle that rolled off the assembly line carried a story. Today, Mercedes-Benz is not just a car. It is a symbol of progress, a reminder that innovation is born from perseverance, that greatness comes from courage, and that one bold idea can change the world forever. Part 4. War, crisis, and the brink of extinction. The wars began. Factories were bombed. The company was almost wiped out. But Mercedes didn't give up. They focused on quality, on durability, on prestige. From the ashes of destruction, Mercedes chose a different path. Instead of chasing speed alone, the brand focused on building vehicles that would last for decades, not just years. Every bolt, every engine, every detail was designed with one goal in mind: absolute excellence. Mercedes engineers believed that a car should not only move people, but protect them. This belief led to groundbreaking innovations in safety, comfort, and engineering precision. They introduced stronger frames, more reliable engines, and technologies that redefined what a luxury automobile could be. While others followed trends, Mercedes set the standard. Slowly, trust returned. From government leaders to racing legends, from city streets to racetracks, Mercedes became a symbol of authority and refinement. Each generation of vehicles carried the same philosophy: build without compromise, design without shortcuts, and innovate without fear. Mercedes was no longer just surviving, it was leading. What began as a fragile invention in a world that didn't believe had now become one of the most respected names in automotive history. A brand forged by hardship, refined by discipline, and driven by an unbreakable pursuit of perfection. And the journey was far from over. Part 5. The Ascent to the Top. The S-Class was born. The definition of luxury changed. AMG emerged. The meaning of power changed. And Formula One. Mercedes was no longer just a brand. It was a status. This is not just the story of a car. It is the story of belief, quiet, stubborn, and unshakable. Mercedes-Benz was built by those who refused to stop when no one was watching, and continued when the world had already turned away. Progress did not come from applause. It came from patience, from discipline, from the courage to keep going in silence, from a forgotten invention to a global symbol of excellence. This journey proves one truth above all else: the future belongs to those who believe long before proof exists. The three-pointed star does not represent speed or luxury alone. It represents direction, forward, always final. From a car that nobody wanted to the world's most powerful automotive empire. The story of Mercedes-Benz shows us this. If someone believes nothing is impossible, this is not just the story of a car. It is the story of belief, quiet, stubborn, and unshakable. Mercedes-Benz was built by those who refused to stop when no one was watching and continued when the world had already turned away. Progress did not come from applause. It came from patience, from discipline, from the courage to keep going in silence, from a forgotten invention to a global symbol of excellence. This journey proves one truth above all else. The future belongs to those who believe long before proof exists. The three-pointed star does not represent speed or luxury alone. It represents direction, forward, always.